Happy Tuesday. I am so glad that you're here. Today, I want to talk a little bit about mistakes. Um, None of us really want to be that parent out in the grocery store where your toddler's having a meltdown, or you're called into the principal's office yet again, or your kid can't seem to get along with anybody else's children, and so play dates are torture. But instead of getting embarrassed or frustrated or upset or blaming ourselves, turning it on into ourselves and saying, what am I doing wrong? I want to put a little spin on that instead and think, what if we celebrated our kids' mistakes instead of got upset about them? And by that, I mean this. We all are going to make mistakes in life. There are so many advantages to making mistakes. Yes, I'm going to say that again. Advantages to making mistakes. Number one, you learn from them. Well, if you don't learn from them, then I guess that advantage isn't there. But the majority of people learn from them. Maybe it takes 50 mistakes, repetitive mistakes, before you start learning. But you know what? Eventually, people start learning from them. So you can learn from your mistakes. And with kids, especially, wouldn't you rather they practice at home? Wouldn't you rather they practice when they're still under your umbrella of protection, when you can still guide them and help them and problem solve with them about, well, this is what happened when you did X, Y, and Z. So how did that work out for you? Do you think maybe there's a different alternative that you could do that would be better? Isn't it better for our children if they make the mistakes when they're still young and the mistakes are relatively simple and easy to fix versus not making mistakes in childhood but being quote unquote perfect because they want to obey you and they want to follow the rules and they don't want to mess up? But then when they get out into the real world, they're like, oh my goodness, all this freedom, I don't know what to do. And then sometimes the mistakes are more catastrophic or have longer term consequences than if they were to start out by making mistakes in childhood under your covering. And what about us? We make mistakes all the time too. Wouldn't it be better if we approached making a mistake with, okay, it didn't work out that way. Let's see what else I can do. Let's see what I can do differently to have a better outcome. I think, wasn't it Albert Einstein that said something like there were, I don't remember, something about there was nothing is really a mistake as long as you learn from it, or you can try something, it's not really a mistake, it was 500 times that it didn't turn out and then the one time that it did. I don't know, he has a really good phrase and I forgot to look it up, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, what if we looked at mistakes instead of as problems or embarrassment or frustrating things that cause us frustration? What if we looked at them as learning experiences and we started to celebrate the fact that our kids made mistakes or we made mistakes in the shelter and the security and the comfort of our home, being surrounded by loving people who will accept that and help us to grow instead of condemn us or be embarrassed or frustrated. So that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about today. We all make mistakes, but what if we approached it from that perspective instead of the alternative? If you liked this if you liked this video, could you please click the button below or hit the subscribe button? I would really appreciate that as well. If you want to join the membership, it's 365 days in your inbox of ways for you to grow closer to God, ways for you to grow your relationship with Him. So maybe you have been a believer your entire life, but yet you want to take it deeper. You want to go deeper. Well, this membership is for you. Maybe you've just committed your life to Jesus. Maybe you've just prayed that prayer and you don't know where to go next. What's next? Well, this membership's for you. It is for anybody who wants to focus on God's promises instead of life's problems. Anybody who wants to take your relationship to the next level. And that's the great thing about it, is that you can do it at your own pace and your own time. There is scripture, daily scripture to read. There are songs of encouragement. There is prayer. There is a blog for encouragement every week, free devotionals, all kinds of exciting, free, wonderful things. So if you're interested, pop down below. You'll see the link and you can find out everything that's included. And yeah, so I hope to see you there. You can get the link for the Cheer Up podcast below. You can get the link for my website below. So just check it out. If you have time, look around and see what you think. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, mistakes aren't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe we should start celebrating them instead. Talk to you next week.